Hi everyone and welcome to our Veganuary video series of videos, and yesterday we were talking about how to get your kids on board, and today I'm going to be talking about a controversial subject as to are we forcing our children to be vegan. Now this is something that I have been told many a time, that I'm forcing my children to a vegan diet, and as I explained yesterday, I gave my children a choice. You could say it was a heavily influenced choice, and they were fairly young and they were obviously inspired by myself. You could say that maybe there was no choice at all and that, you know, I indoctrinated them. All these things have been suggested to me over the time by various different other parents that I've met, or random strangers on Facebook who think I'm somehow harming my children by bringing them up on a vegan diet. And you may also come up similar problems as well. And today I'm going to really talk about this idea of forcing our children on a vegan diet, and are we actually forcing them, or what actually is forcing. And one of the things that really comes to me when we talk about this is, well, surely as a parent we're pretty much forcing any diet on our children. I could be forcing a meat diet on my child. I could be forcing a vegetable diet on my child. I could be forcing chocolate diet, a sweet and fast food, junk food diet on my child. You know, forcing is quite a strong word, but actually as parents, we make choices for our children that we believe are the best things. You know, I wouldn't just allow my children to eat Skittles day in, day out. So, you know, I do force vegetables and fruits into my children sometimes, so that they don't just make the wrong choices throughout their life. I think, you know, as parents, we have a responsibility to ensure that our children are healthy, to ensure that our children have a nutritious diet and a balanced diet. That's part of being a parent. That's part of our responsibility of being a parent. So all parents everywhere probably have some element of forcing some sort of diet onto their child. And that goes to whether you're a meat eater, whether you're a vegan, whether you're a vegetarian, whether you're your child has allergies or anything like that. There could be people could potentially say that we're forcing a diet, but you know, at home I choose to eat a certain way. And whoever comes into my home, whether they're a child or an adult, will also eat in that way, because that's how I choose to manage my home. That's the food that I choose to have in my home, and I won't have non-vegan products in my home. That's just the way that I am. And if you can't deal with that as a person, then unfortunately then you don't come into my home, essentially. So you could say that, yeah, okay, so some people have said to me, you know, I've stolen food off my children at parties, and all sorts of things like that. But if you actually knew my children, you would and got to know them, you'd be fairly confident that they don't want to have non-vegan food. And I'm very proud of my vegan kids and all the vegan kids out there actually who make compassionate choices every day. So big thumbs up to all you guys out there and everyone who is making those compassionate choices. You guys are the future, and I'm really proud of you for making those choices at such a young age and being able to have the confidence to stand up for the cruelty that is out there and currently that animals have to face. So big thumbs up to you guys. Unfortunately, some people are going to want to have to say at some points in our lives that we're forcing particular things onto our children. That's just not the case at all. And I think we all know that deep down. You know, essentially, I think I mentioned in my video yesterday, you can't actually force feed children. As much as sometimes I'd like to be able to get some vegetables and some kale down them and some healthy foods. Unfortunately, you know, we as humans, it's one of our rights. It's one of the things that we have, is to be able to eat the foods, and it's about making those choices. So I fully stand by what I said yesterday as well about making those choices with your children, ensuring that they're knowledgeable and educating them and telling them, you know, getting them on board with our journeys. And then I don't think there's any element of forcing into it. We're just making the best choices for our children. We're making the right decisions that we feel that are right for our children. Essentially, as I've mentioned before, you probably can't really force a diet, because if my children really didn't want to be vegans, there'd be plenty of opportunities for them to sneak non-vegan foods when they're not under my watchful eye, when they're outside of the house. So, you know, I feel confident in the way that I've brought my children up, so that they are aware of what they're eating and that they're happy with the foods that they eat. And that's how we as a family operate. There's no forcing, there's no indoctrination as such. My children have come to that decision by themselves. They're very happy vegans, they're very proud vegans, and I'm very proud of them too. So you decide whether us vegan parents are forcing our kids or not. and let me know your own thoughts and how it worked out with you and your kids when you told them that you wanted to go vegan. If you need any help and support, as ever, we're always there on Facebook, Instagram, and you can also email us at dana@vegan-kids.org. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.